Miami series tied at 2 apiece. Let's recap how we got to this point. Jimmy Butler put the team on his back in game 1, dropping 41 points to give Miami the series lead at home, his 5th 40-point playoff game, trailing only Dwayne Wade in team history. Now, Boston would bounce back in game 2. Marcus Smart returned to the lineup after missing game 1, drained 5 of the Celtics' 20 made threes en route to one of the largest road playoff wins in franchise history. Bam Adebayo, he did everything for the Heat in Game 3. Adebayo led Miami in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Heat led by as many as 26 in the first half to turn the series back in their favor. It's really been back and forth because in Game 4, Boston storms out of the gate in control. Miami did not make a shot until the 3:22 mark in the first quarter, longest drought to start any playoff game in the last 25 years. As for Game 5, Coach Ime Udoka, new on SportsCenter, talked about how his team needs to get off to a quick start.
Kind of the theme of the series, teams playing from behind, teams coming off losses, playing with more aggression, and we want to obviously reverse that and come out with some urgency ourselves, understanding we're on the road and want some carryover from our previous game.
I think we're confident. We know what we have to do, take care of the ball, set the tone defensively, but we've been in this situation last series, so I think we're prepared. Every time we come off a loss, we play like our backs are against the wall, so we got to take that mentality into every game. And then obviously, just taking care of the ball. The games we lost, we had 39 turnovers. Games we win, we had 18 turnovers, so it's a big difference.
What a series this has been as we welcome in Brian Windhorst covering the series, joins us live from Miami. So, Windy, let's start with the Celtics. What more can you tell us about the health of Marcus Smart, who missed Game 4 with that ankle injury, as well as Jason Tatum?
Yeah, Coach Ime Udoka said that both his key players, Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, who are on the injury report, are feeling better. But Marcus Smart still has swelling in that ankle from the injury that he suffered midway through Game 3. So while he is listed as questionable, we can call him a game-time decision. He is going to come and test that ankle out pregame and see if he can go. I will point out, though, 3 times in this postseason, Marcus Smart has been listed as questionable and then has not played. So let's not jump to any conclusions just because he's going to test it out. Same with Robert Williams. As for Jason Tatum, he has been taken off the injury report with the shoulder injury that he suffered in Game 3. But I will point out he was just 1 of 7 from three-point range in Game 4. Tossed up a couple of air balls. It's not clear how healthy he is with that shoulder. We'll see how he feels early in the game tonight.
Yeah, Wendy, this series has been a lot about the injuries, notably with Marcus Smart. He missed Game 1. He was so pivotal in Game 2. And now we're dealing with injuries on both sides of the ball, especially with the Heat. What more can you tell us? I mean, this is a list. You've got Jimmy Butler. You've got Tyler Hero. You've got Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've kind of become experts in reading teams' injury report maneuvers. Generally, the players that the Heat have listed as questionable in this postseason have played. Not like the Celtics. So almost like the Heat saying questionable kind of means probable. Jimmy Butler was taken off of the injury report. But I'm going to believe more actions than words on all of these Heat players because Jimmy Butler did not look healthy in Game 4. He was only 3 of 14 shooting with that knee inflammation. Tyler Hero is on the injury report as questionable with the groin injury. He was having discomfort running 2 days ago, but was hoping to try to give it a go today. He was struggling so much with that injury, he got benched down the stretch in the end of fourth quarter of Game 3. And when you look at Kyle Lowry, he is questionable and likely to play with the hamstring, but only 5 of 17 shooting in this series. Again, going to play, but how effective will he be?
Game 5 tonight, 8:30 Eastern. We know they'll play the game. Who's going to be on the court remains to be seen. Brian Windhorst live in Miami this afternoon. Brian, thank you.
All right, so this series is tied and now shifts to Miami. NBA analyst J.J. Redick joins us now on SportsCenter. Let's stay with Celtics Heat here, J.J. What's your biggest key to who wins Game 5 tonight? We know how inconsistent and back and forth this has been.
Yeah, I look at for the Miami Heat, it's got to start with Jimmy Butler. We need the version of Jimmy Butler that we've seen throughout these playoffs. He was fantastic in Game 1 and Game 2, and obviously a little hobbled in Game 4. And the other player for the Heat that I'm really looking for is Bam Adebayo. If you go back to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2020 in the bubble, Bam was the Heat's best player when they beat the Celtics. He led the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. And we saw that version of Bam in Game 3, and then we saw a very passive Bam Adebayo in Game 4. He's got to be aggressive, and him and Jimmy have to set the tone for the Miami Heat on the offensive end.
Of course, Jimmy Butler shooting 33% with Jason Tatum as his primary defender in this series. All other Celtics defenders, Butler is shooting better than 50% from the floor. We'll have more from you, JJ, in just a bit. Hang tight.
Yeah, Shay, we got to avoid a sweep for Dallas. They were down 3-0 in this series to the Golden State Warriors. They would need good Luka and avoid great Steph to stay in this one. Under a minute to go, first quarter, Mavs up 3. Luka pulls from 3. Mavs shot 29% in Game 3 from beyond the arc, but come out hot in this first quarter. This is what we saw against Phoenix. We haven't seen it much in this series. When they hit shots, they come in bunches. Start of the second, Spencer Dinwiddie to Davis Bertans, pump fake dunks it. Then Jalen Brunson, role player stepping up for Dallas when they need it most. Mavs go on a 15-2 run with Luka on the bench. They've done this before as well. Luka comes out. We see guys like Dinwiddie. We see guys like Brunson step up. Curry 15 in the first half. He was doing his part. Other end of the floor. How about Doncic? Oh, what a finish. Mavs led by 15 at the break. Out of the break, we had a leaky roof situation at the AAC.
Rain delay.
The towels come out. The players are like, what are we doing? 16 minutes for that guy to put gum in the top of the roof. Mark Cuban's like, dude, I own this place. Go on Shark Tank, get an offer, good sealant, everything will be fine. Dorian Finney-Smith, 20-point lead. Then Doncic. I mean, this is so fundamental. Now Cuban's happy. Okay, plug the roof. We're good. We're winning. Everybody be fine. Doncic puts the Mavs up 23. 7 minutes to go. 22-point game. I mean, look at Luka just toying with humans now. And that human is Steph Curry. When good Luka's on display, you could argue best player on the planet. As of 29, umbrellas needed. I mean, it's so good. You can't make that story up. In the fourth, Curry and Thompson on the bench. Not worth it. Moses Moody, he drills the 3. 13-point game. Warriors bench thinking, well, wait a second. The starters are on the bench. How are we doing this? Kuminga for 3. Wait a second. It's an 8-point game. So they're like, all right, Curry comes back in. Could it be enough? Doncic, this was the exclamation point. Finishes back to a double-digit lead. Then the wrap around here to Finney-Smith. Find the guy. He does his part. Luka, 30 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists. Mavs hang on. They force a Game 5. That's all they needed to do. 119-109. And the big story for Dallas going into Game 4 was whether Luka would get help from the supporting cast after struggling through 3 games. The rest of the Mavs shot better than 50% from the field and from behind the arc to help extend the series to a Game 5.
All right, and with that, JJ Redick back with us here on SportsCenter. So the Mavs finished at nearly 47% from three-point range in Game 4 after struggling from long range through the first 3 games of this series. So what was behind the change last night, JJ?
Well, some of this is just a regression to the mean. In the first 2 rounds, they shot 46% and 48% on open threes. Going into last night, they had been shooting 33% on open threes. Obviously, they shot great last night. The other part about this, Luka, of course, is going to do his thing. Last night, the Mavs were 9 for 14 on Luka passes that led to a shot. So they did their job. Guys like Reggie Bullock, 6 threes. Dorian Finney-Smith had a great game. Maxi Kleber knocked down a couple of trays as well. It's been the same story throughout the playoffs. Luka's going to play great. If the rest of the supporting cast has big nights, they have a chance to beat anyone.
Yeah, Luka just needs a little bit of help. Meanwhile, the Warriors fans can put their brooms away. Sweep cannot happen, and this series shifts back to San Francisco. So what does Golden State need to do in order to close this thing out in Game 5?
This is a battle-tested group. They know they have to play Warriors basketball. Warriors basketball, what does that look like? It's moving, it's cutting, it's ball movement. It's using the threat of the three-point line to get to the basket and score points in the paint. defensively, they're probably going to have to mix in some zone. Jason Kidd talked about after the game how the Mavericks are just lining the Warriors up one-on-one, getting into the paint and creating opportunities for other guys. When the Mavs hit the paint last night, they shot 59% from the field. The zone deters that defensive breakdown.
Game 5 tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. JJ Redick, thanks so much for joining us on SportsCenter.
All right, thank you.
All right, coming up, Stephen A. Smith.